Khamzat Chimaev is one of the most talked about UFC fighters in the world right now. He fights this Saturday night against Gilbert Burns, a former title contender at the welterweight division. I can't wait for this fight. In this video, we're going to talk about the odds. I'm going to break down both fighters and tell you guys who I think is going to win this weekend and who you should bet on, okay? You look at a guy like Khamzat Chimaev, only 4 fights in the UFC. He came into the UFC in 2020, had 2 wins right off the bat in a span of 10 days at Fight Island. Okay, that's kind of how this guy's name got so big. After that, he had 2 more wins, not against anyone in the top 15. And to be honest, no one knows any of these guys at all. You look at Jin Lang Lin, Gerald Mershaw, Rise McKee, and John Phillips. Khamzat Chimaev's finished every single guy that he's ever fought. His amateur career, he had 3 fights, and then he's only had 10 pro fights. The guy started as a pro in the 2018 at the IRFA, International Ring Fight Arena, and from then on, he's just been collecting souls. This guy is an absolute savage, but a lot of people are questioning, does he deserve to have the odds that he currently has as a minus 520? He's going against a guy that's a former title contender a year ago. Gilbert Burns got knocked out by Kamaru Usman, but up until that point, Gilbert Burns has beaten everybody that he was fighting. One thing I'll say about Gilbert Burns, you look at his pedigree of fighters and who he's gone against. He's gone against some of the best guys in the world. You can't argue that. But when he fought them, a lot of these guys, let's say Stephen Thompson, Wonder Boy, Tyron Woodley, Damian Maia, Gunnar Nelson, all these guys were kind of past their prime when Gilbert Burns went to fight him. He's 20-4, okay, and he's been fighting in the UFC now since 2014. So you can argue Gilbert Burns obviously has the experience factor on his hand, but he's 35 years old going against a young buck, Khamzat, who's 27. Okay, I think Gilbert Burns realizes if he wins this fight, he can kind of throw his name right back in the hat to fight Usman again and try to get another title shot. Okay, some people thought he had a good fight against Usman and almost won it if he would have just stayed on his feet and not try to stand and bang with him. But he will have to beat Khamzat this weekend. I don't think Gilbert Burns is going to be able to do it. I just don't think he's athletic enough at this point in his career going up against a guy like Khamzat that's 6'2". Okay, Khamzat has plans of going up to 185 even, and then 205. Yes, I said 205 at light heavyweight to get a belt. He's said it numerous times leading up to this fight. He wants to be a 3-division world title fighter, and it starts here at 170. I think Khamzat's going to be the bigger guy. I think he's going to have the better grappling. He's going to be the stronger guy, have the better boxing. Every single aspect of this fight, when I look at it, I have to give Khamzat the upper hand except for the experience factor in the octagon. Now, when you look at some of the fights that Khamzat had, granted, some of them, weren't the biggest arenas, weren't the biggest venues with the most fans. Now it's a little different. Now he's starting to get his name a little bigger. Now, you see people talking like Darren Till that are friends with him, putting his name in the limelight even more. So Khamzat is a certified superstar after 4 fights in the UFC. That's the only thing that worries me a little bit, is maybe the limelight and the attention is getting to his head too much. We'll have to see this weekend. I think the bet, if you're going to go, is as simple as bet Khamzat money line. You're not going to win that much money. It's going to take you about $1,000 to win 200. But if you really want to put money on this, I would not bet Gilbert Burns. I think he's on the way out of his career at 35, and I just don't see any possible way Gilbert Burns could win this fight. Let me know in the comments below how you guys think this fight's going to go. Do you think I'm just on this hype train of Khamzat? And do you think Gilbert has some good value with so much experience being such an underdog at a plus 370? Some good value at a plus 370 for a guy that's had so many more UFC fights, okay? Keep in mind, though, Khamzat's had 10 UFC fights total. 10 MMA fights total, and only 4 in the UFC. Like I said, though, I'm going to go with Khamzat on this. even though I think he's getting a lot of hype and no one's really talking about Burns, I just don't see any way he loses this fight. I think Khamzat's going to be a world champion, and this is just another step to that process. If he wins this, I think you could see him fighting against a Colby Covington next, or maybe even an Usman. This kind of depends on when Usman's back and what Covington wants to do moving forward, if he gets that Dustin Poirier fight or not. But guys, thanks again for tuning in to today's video. If you were new, hit that sub button before you head out. And again, thanks as always, and until next time, I'm out.